Hello, this is Slingshot120, and welcome back to a Forza Horizon 5 video. And I think this is gonna be one of my last, because, God, this game is such a letdown. Like, I don't want to say I call it, but I literally said why I think this game coming out now was a bad idea. And I pretty much, like, from what I can remember, from what I said, I didn't look back at the video, I pretty much nailed exactly how this game was gonna die, and it fucking happened. So, I don't want to say I called it, but I kind of did. Because, yeah, this game, it just sucks. It's just a letdown. So first, the story, or lack thereof, like the little story missions that you unlock where you go through those, like, chapters, they're just repetitive. None of the characters are rememberable. Like, I don't remember anyone's name in this game besides mine. And they're just all out cringy and annoying. You can't mute the stupid voices. And it just seems like they try to overly ram, like, random facts down your throat. Like, they just don't say it once, like, hey, fun fact. They're, like, repetitively saying what sounds like the same line. Second, the game doesn't function. Like, you need to turn ray tracing off to even paint a car. That's the current thing going around on PC. If you try to paint a car and ray tracing's on, your game's gonna explode. And otherwise, like, yeah, like, I don't think some people on, like, certain consoles can even play the game still. Like, just look at the reviews, besides on Steam, because for some reason people on Steam say the game's good, despite the fact that I have 3 friends who play on Steam, like Forza off of Steam. And, like, if they tab out, or, like, even open up the Xbox menu to invite me, their game just shits the bed. Like, their FPS just drops. They have to, like, I have to be the one to invite them. And they can't have the game open, because if they open the Xbox game bar to even join me, their game shits the bed. And just the festival playlist. It's the same as Horizon 4's. It's just, hey, do this boring race to get points to win a car that is for some reason exclusive. Like this week, it's the Toyota AT38, that Arctic truck that Top Gear made to go to the Arctic Circle. That car, besides Horizon 3, was free. Like, it was just in the game. Why is it rare? Why is it exclusive now? It's like they just have a fucking... They just have, like, a board of every car in the game, and they just load a cannon full of darts, and whichever cars get hit, they're just rare. For no reason. Like, I even made a list when I was going through my whole garage, throwing out cars, because that's a whole other issue I'm gonna get into. But there's just some fucking stupid ones, too. It's like, the BAC Mono's a one-off car, the original Audi R8, a BMW X6. Pretty much every Corvette ZR1 is a one-off car. The DeLorean, the Dodge Dart of all things, that's like... The Dodge Dart's pretty much a staple in this game at this point. Like, I'm not even gonna count the barn find cars. That's always been a problem with barn finds in this game. But like a Veloster N, a Murcielago, the Gallardo, a 90s RX-7. I remember there being a really stupid one, and I'm trying to find it. Where is it? It was really dumb. Oh yeah, the frickin' Beetle. The 63 Beetle. Like, this, like, I remember the one chapter, this person's trying to ram down your throat. Oh yeah, everyone owns a Beetle and loves them. But you can only have one fucker. You can only have uno Beetle. Or Rocho, or whatever the hell they call them. It's like, this game's all about driving your dreams. But, hope your dream isn't basic economy cars, because they're more rare than the fucking hypercars in this game. Otherwise, the game just still has the same fundamental problems that started partially in Horizon 3. The game just throws money at you in cars. Like, right now, I have 100 mil. And sure, I did the Willys Jeep, like, skill points thing to buy super wheel spins. Guess what? That's not cheating. That's the game having a shit method of making money that they patched out. So if you think that's cheating, one, you've never played a game that actually involves farming, because guess what? That's how farming works. It's the most effective method people will farm. And second off, like, I only made 20 mil off that because I pretty much did it like... I did like 200 super wheel spins. So, like, I made 80 mil just off selling these quote-unquote rare cars on the auction house. And they're cars I don't even care for. Like, the one was the fucking Peel. I made $18 million off of a stupid Peel. And, like, other quote-unquote rare cars that just shouldn't be rare. Otherwise, like, right now, if I look, like, I'm recording the audio separately to the gameplay, because Xbox Game Bar doesn't want to record audio. I have 284 cars. None of these, like, I just went through and got rid of, like, I gifted all the cars I didn't want. Like, I even gifted a Sesto Elemento FE, because that's how little I care about money in this game at this point. Like, I just gave somebody the best car in the game. I hope somebody who actually needs it, like, who doesn't have it, actually got it. I hope that's the case, not just somebody like me who has, like, 5. But yeah, like, the majority of these cars, they've been in the game since Horizon 2. Like, nothing feels new. Like, there's a couple new cars, like the 911 GT2 RS. That with the Dukes kit, one of my favorite cars in the game. I really like the Dukes kit on the GT2. And same with the 720S. Otherwise, a lot more has been removed then was added back, just like Horizon 4. You can't pick class, you can't even pick your class or racing type in online. We're just back to, like, you join a race and you hope it's something you like. Otherwise, have fun searching for like an hour. Otherwise, yeah, game's just literally Horizon 4, but with more sand. It's just boring, it's unfulfilling, and they mainly cater to the freaking free-to-play players because they want as many numbers as possible. They'd rather just get more hours played or, like, brag about the fact that it's the biggest game on launch they've ever had. Because right now, I wouldn't even doubt that only, like, 1 million people currently play the game. Because if you look on Steam, the player base has dropped 80%. That's stupid. Like, that is a dead game. Like, I'd say this is on par nearly with the new Battlefield in its numbers. The game did do a couple things right, like the Fairlady Z Horizon Edition. It's cool how we have a Baja Fairlady, but guess what? It's just fog lights on a 350, or a, yeah, 350, I don't care, Fairlady 350, whatever. But it's like, hey, the Crew 1 had that. Otherwise, what the hell else is wrong with this game? Because there's just... it's pretty much every Horizon 4 problem, just copy-paste it. Like, the game didn't work for the first 2 months. Online's broken still. Like, I still can't even play with 2 friends at once, because it'll just constantly kick us out if we pause the game. It'll just disband the whole lobby and be like, oh, you can't reconnect, gotta reconnect. And otherwise, like, yeah, the game promotes losing. Like, if you've ever played Playground games, if you get second in the online thing for the festival playlist, you still get the prizes if you want. So it's like, hey, if my team's stupid and we lost the first round, my goal is to make sure I lose as fast as possible, so I can get the car or the prize as fast as possible. And otherwise, the weekly cars, like the rare cars, they're not even good. They're not even, like, new. Like, the Toyota, we've had that. The Land Cruiser version, we've had that. The Celica 03, Motorsport 4. The Zenvo, that was a free car in the last game. That was buyable. And it was DLC in Horizon 3. The 71 Mustang, that was a buyable car. Otherwise, I think there's a way to check like, previous lists. If I remember. I don't remember, but so far, like, yeah, the majority of, like, the rare cars are just don't make sense. And they're not even fun. Like, they're not even fun to unlock. Because I'm looking through my car list right now, I'm trying to think of which ones that I didn't sell to make money for no reason. For, like, what's rare. Or no, what they added is, like, an exclusive car. Like the DeLorean, yeah, it's a cool car, but guess what? It's kind of a piece of crap in real life. Unless you completely, like, rebuild the damn thing, like that guy did with that. I think it was a Kia Stinger? P6? Otherwise, the Aventador J. That was in every Horizon game except the third one, I think. And guess what? It was a buyable car. At least I think it was in Horizon 4. I think that might have been a treasure hunt car, but that's beside the point. The SVJ. That's a good car, but guess what? You can only own one. The frickin'... I was about to say Evo, but that was a car pass car. Never mind. What's another one? I'm trying to look. There was one more that really annoyed me, how it's like, we can only own one of these. Unless you just scalp one off the auction house for like 100 mil. You know, it might have sold it actually. Actually, it might have been the Zenvo. I just went through the whole list and I'm back at Zenvo now. Yeah, it might have been a Zenvo. It's like, yeah, buyable car. Guess what? You can only have one now. Otherwise, like, yeah, game's just so lackluster. Can't even drive across the map, really, without getting flashbanged by every freaking PR stunt. And that's if your game doesn't just crash. Or have just tons of film grain. Like, I play on a 1080 Ti. I have, like, medium settings on 1080p, 60 FPS. And I still have, like, very, very noticeable film grain. Like, there are literal lines going across my screen right now. And it's just so freaking bad. So, like, I don't know if it's me, but it's like, how did Horizon 1, 2, and 3 manage to entertain people for 2 years? Because think about it, even if you played Motorsport, when it was like an every other year cycle of each game, but it's like people always came back to like Horizon or went back to Motorsport. But it's like, how did Horizon 1, with just a rally DLC, manage to entertain people for like 2 years straight until Horizon 2? Yet this game can't even entertain people for more than a month. Like, is that just me, or is it the game? Like, I can't even tell anymore. And at this point, for like TDU, all that game needs to do is just work. Like, who cares how little content that game could have, or how little the car list could be, if it just works. Like, if I could turn the game on, play with my friends, and not have to mess with, like, router settings, that game pretty much won. Like, TDU is back on the top, pretty much, as far as I'm concerned. Like, hell, at this point, me and my friends were talking, my one friend hates the crew. Because they added, like, airplanes and boats. He's like, they should have just stuck with cars. And he was like, me and him were talking, he's like, yeah, The Crew 2 looks like a more enticing game than this. Like, that game's more complete than this game. And he's like, not comparing the game now. He's like, at launch, that game has more to do and is a more complete game than this. Like, right now I'm playing, I can still see, like, the 50-foot circle around me of things rendering in. And it's even more noticeable because the map's more colorful. So it's like I can literally see things rendering in last second, like traffic, trees, whole plants, like even a couple buildings. Just don't load in until you're right on top of them. So yeah, I pretty much think I'm done with Horizon 5. Which I hate to say, because they actually improved the handling model and some of the sounds. Because on my original channel, I kind of just put meme videos there. Like, I put a video of the R32 Golf and a couple other cars. Some cars in this game just sound horrible. Like, I don't know how they managed to make some cars that actually sounded decent in the last game sound even worse. It's like, how hard is it to copy-paste a sound file for a multi billion-dollar funded company. It's like, I even hate that with people who say, like, they have limited resources. No, they fucking don't. They're funded by Microsoft and Playground Games. They have infinite money compared to these other developers who make better games or games that are on par with this game. Like, Forza should be the best racing game by such a huge long shot, yet it's mediocre, at best. The only thing that's fun to do in this game at this point is to get in a car and drive around, but you can't drive on all the roads or else you'll be flashbanged by constant PR stunts. So at this point, I pretty much think until TDU 3 or Solar Crown comes out, I'm pretty much not going to make videos. Which I hate, because yeah, I came into this game thinking, oh, it's actually pretty good, and then like, I kind of came into it with very, very low expectations from Horizon 4, and now I feel like I'm just back in Horizon 4 again. Where it's do a bunch of nitpicky activities to get a car that shouldn't be locked behind a paywall, basically. So otherwise, might make Destiny videos, because that game, depending on how the gun creating goes, might be a good game to make videos on. Plus, I play an unhealthy amount of that game. Otherwise, yeah, I'm probably never going to make a car video on this channel again until Test Drive comes out. And that's even if Test Drive's good. Like, I hope to God Test Drive just smacks the shit out of this game. And actually forces Playground into making Horizon better. And not even this one. Like, just make the next one good. Like, don't put any resources into this thing. It's already dead. Just put all your effort into making Horizon 6 the best game. Because everyone I've asked, they still think the original 3 are the best Horizons. You know, depending on what order you put them in. But, like, 1, 2, and 3 are always in the top 3. 4 and 5, they say they're not even, like, on the podium. Like, they are 10 feet underground. They're not even, like, surface level. They're negative. So, yeah. Take care. I guess this is where my channel dies, because it's gonna be inactive for, like, a month until Destiny. And nobody subscribed for Destiny content, because I mainly make Forza videos, so... yeah, I guess this is the part where my channel dies. Anyway, have fun. Goodbye.